It's been 12 months since acquittal, and so much has passed us by. Such a scattering with evidence, and some blatant flat-out lies. Special new press sector, and Hank Breeden is his name. He is a dirty Boston lawyer, and his arguments are lame. He's tried to squash all of our experts, as he has no case to claim. He should have won an Oscar medal to convince the court he's sane. He can lie without a conscience and keep that smirk upon his face. I bet he wears those silky undies, the ones with that jean made of lace. And Judge Beverly Academy is so biased for the state, is wading through 100 motions in a rush to seal my fate. So you can bring in Massachusetts, cause we all ain't got no quit. And we all know that the truth is my car is not the thing John hit.
Yay. All persons having any business before the Honorable Beverly Academy, Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court in Florida County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. By the State of Commonwealth of Massachusetts. School is now open. You may be seated.
22117, the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
Good morning, gentlemen. We all met here at 8:30 to try and streamline things, and as a result of what we did this morning, it looks like there'll be some day this week that we will all meet to go through things that we need to go through, but we will excuse you. I just don't know quite yet when that will be. We'll know by the end of the day today. And also on the 21st, originally we said we'd be off for the 21st, but again, you know that we don't want to take up any more of your time than necessary. So we will meet on the 21st, but just in the morning because I have a long-standing afternoon that we cannot cancel. So the 21st will be a half a day. So we'll let you know more as the day progresses. All right, I do have to ask those questions. Were you all able to follow the instructions and refrain from discussing this case with anyone since we left on Friday? Yes. Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Were you also able to follow the instructions and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation into this case? Yes. Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Did anyone happen to see, hear, read anything about this case since we left here on Friday? No. Thank you. Everyone said no or shook their heads. Thank you very much. Can we get Sergeant Bukenik, please? Do you have that flash drive? No. The flash drive that I gave you. Great.
You tell me, sir, the evidence you report during the case down here, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I did.
Thank you, Sergeant. All right, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you. So when we left off on Thursday, we were discussing the Sally Port video that was introduced by the Commonwealth on Wednesday during direct examination. Do you recall that?
I do.
When he introduced that video, Mr. Lally asked you several very specific questions about the video, including if you recognize the video in general, correct?
Yes, he did.
And you said you did.
I did.
He also asked you whether you recognized any individuals in the video at a particular time where he paused the video and you used your green laser pointer to point out a couple of individuals that you recognize. Do you recall that?
I do.
And in that pause, you indicated at that time on Wednesday that you recognized Trooper Proctor and what you thought was yourself, the person slipping at the front of the SUV, correct?
I indicated that Trooper Proctor and myself were in the video, and there was an individual slipping in the front of the vehicle.
And you then on Thursday, you corrected that to make sure that we were clear about it. The person slipping was actually the tow driver, not you, correct?
That's what it appeared, so yes.
Okay, I'd like to take a quick look at that with the court's permission at 4:46. May I publish that?
Yes.
This is 4:46. It's the same video that you were shown by Mr. Lally. We're at runtime about 5:37 and 05 p.m. I'm sorry, I said runtime. I meant time of day. Thank you. As a matter of fact, the time of day would be most easily seen right down here, although it's pretty small from where you're at. If you can't see that, please let me know.
I do not see that, no.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll hold off on that question, and I may ask the court for relief in just a moment. If we can play this for just a quick second, and I'll ask you, Mr. Bates, if you can pause it. Go ahead and pause there. Okay, Sergeant, this is the basic video, the point at which it was paused when Mr. Lally asked you to identify the individuals in the video, correct?
I believe it was a different time, but I'm not sure.
Do you remember using your green laser pointer, pointing at the person in the back and identifying that person as Trooper Proctor, and then pointing at the person in the front, screen right, mistakenly as you? You remember that?
I remember indicating where the individuals would be, yes.
Okay, and so do you have the green laser pointer with you?
I do.
Could you point at the location where you see Trooper Proctor?
I do not know specifically right now if that is Trooper Proctor behind the vehicle, but when Mr. Lally asked me to indicate where we would be, it was in this location here.
You're indicating toward the rear of the SUV.
Correct.
On Wednesday, and I just want to draw your attention back to your testimony on Wednesday, you used the laser pointer and pointed at two different individuals, the person toward the back, and you identified him as Mr. Proctor, as Trooper Proctor, correct? On Wednesday.
I indicated that Trooper Proctor myself would be in the shot in the rear of the vehicle. And then I indicated that I'm wearing a olive drab baseball hat, and Trooper Proctor's wearing a winter style knit black hat.
Isn't it true that on Wednesday, what the question you were asked from Mr. Lally is, Ms. Gilman, from Mr. Lally, Ms. Gilman, if you can just pause there for a moment, as the sergeant's almost falling in the video, and the court said, keep your voice up, Mr. Lally. Do you recall that?
I do not recall that, no.
Do you remember Mr. Lally saying, Sergeant Bukenik, with reference to any of the individuals you see in this video, do you recognize any of those individuals? And you responding, I can recognize Trooper Proctor and myself. And you used the green laser pointer in doing so.
Yes, I did.
And that was on this area, may not be to the frame, but this is where the video was paused when you made that identification, correct?
It was approximately at this time.
Okay. So you were then asked after you identified, and at that time you did identify Trooper Proctor, and again, mistakenly, yourself, correct?
I directed the laser to the area where we would be.
Okay. And Trooper Proctor is the one toward the back of the truck.
Again, I cannot tell you which individual. There are multiple individuals there. I do not know at this point in time where it's frozen if that's exactly Trooper Proctor. I know we were present at that location, and I know what he was wearing for a headdress and what I was wearing.
All right, so you have to move along from this point.
Then why did you, one more question, Your Honor, then why on Wednesday did you indicate very clearly that the person toward the back of the SUV was Trooper Proctor? If you don't know, why did you say that on Wednesday?
During the frozen frame, I could tell there were two individuals back there, and I was at one point in time in that location with Trooper Proctor.
Does that appear to be Trooper Proctor in the back of the car?
From where the video is frozen right now, I cannot tell.
So you're changing your testimony from Wednesday?
Objection.
Are you changing your testimony?
I am not changing my testimony now.
Okay, next question, Mr. Jackson.
You then asked whether the video was true and accurate as in terms of its depiction of what you saw, what you observed in Sallyport that night, correct?
I indicated the video is true and accurate to the location.
And you were then asked whether or not, in looking at that video, or watching it, either you or Trooper Proctor approached, manipulated, touched that right rear taillight at any time, and your answer was never, correct?
That's correct.
And while you testified, this is the video that was displayed for the jurors, correct? It was this orientation, the front of the truck facing right, the rear of the truck facing left, correct?
That's correct.
And for all appearances, it would appear that the right rear taillight of the SUV is the one facing the jurors, if you will, facing the viewer, right? From appearances. You didn't know anything different.
Can you rephrase that question, please?
Sure. Just from the appearance of the video, as it is now, the appearance of the video, it looks like the right rear taillight is the taillight that's facing the jurors, facing the viewer, toward the rear of the truck, correct?
As it is frozen, correct.
And on Wednesday, I want to move through this relatively briefly, Sergeant. On Wednesday, you did not mention that this video was inverted, did you?
It was not brought out, no.
Not brought up by, I mean, that's a passive way of saying it. I'm asking you directly. Did you mention that this was an inverted video?
Not on Wednesday, no.
On Thursday, Mr. Lally finished his questioning on Wednesday, then came back on Thursday. You continued on direct examination under questioning by Mr. Lally again to start the day, correct?
That is correct.
And during that testimony on Thursday morning, you also, under direct examination, did not mention that this video was inverted, did you?
Did not know.
And then it was my turn to ask you questions. You recall that?
I do.
And then I began asking you questions about the accuracy of this video. And at that time, for the first time, you said it appears that it is a mirror image. It's an inverted video, correct?
I advised you that it is a mirrored image at that point, correct?
Would you agree with me now, as you sit here, that this video, as we're looking at it, is not a true and accurate depiction of what you viewed in that Sally Port that night?
I would not agree with you, no.
Do you believe that what the jurors are seeing right here is a true and accurate, surveillance footage of the Sally Port that night?
Yes, it's just mirrored.
Which means what's left is right and what's right is left, correct?
Correct. If the jurors were actually standing where the camera is recording, which it's recording all accurate depiction of activity and events taking place, the back of the vehicle would be on the right and the front of the vehicle would be on the left, but all activity is accurately depicted in the video.
So in point of fact, everything in this video, every bit of it is reversed, correct?
It's just a mirror image.
So it's not accurate, is it?
It's an accurate depiction of what has taken place.
Sergeant Bukenik, if I were to ask you, let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say you were investigating a circumstance in which a suspect was being identified by 5 witnesses based on a tattoo on that person's left arm. And then you go show that witness, or those series of witnesses, an inverted version of a photograph of that person with the tattoo appearing on his right arm. And those witnesses all say, nope, that's not the guy. I remember the guy. The guy had the tat on the left arm. Would you think that that's an accurate depiction of the person with the tattoo?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you agree with me that an inverted video is not accurate? It's inverted by definition, right?
It's an accurate depiction of the events taking place.
You've reviewed this video in its entirety, you testified, correct?
Yes.
About how long would you say this video is in its runtime, from start to finish?
I did not take note of the length of the video.
All right, I'm going to ask you, Mr. Bates, if you could, with court's permission, can you just pull the cursor back to the beginning of the time of day for this video? And pause it there. Can you see, and this is not an eye exam, can you see the timestamp on the lower left-hand side?
No, I cannot.
Your Honor, with court's permission, I can do this.
I'd like to see a sidebar.
You are unmuted.
Jurors, sometimes lawyers have what we call stipulations. Rather than prolonging either testimony or calling an additional witness, lawyers agree as to certain facts. So what the lawyers have agreed to here is that this video begins at 5:30 and 23 seconds, 5:30 p.m. and 23 seconds, and it ends at 5:48 and 15 seconds. And the total runtime of the video is 5 minutes and 51 seconds. All right, your questions, Mr. Jackson?
Thank you for that, Your Honor. Sergeant Bukenik, given the fact that the beginning time, the time of day, is 5:30 and 23 seconds in the evening, and the end time of this video stops at 5:48 and 15 seconds, would you agree with me, without doing the math down to the seconds, that's about 17 minutes and 50 seconds or so?
In real time, yes.
In real time. The actual time of this video, the runtime of this video, however, is only 5 minutes and 51 seconds, less than 6 minutes. You'd agree with that?
That is what's captured.
So that means that about 2/3 of the video is missing, correct?
It's not missing, just not recorded.
It's not there.
It was never there.
I'm not saying it was ever there. I'm saying I don't know if it was ever there or not. Neither do you. I'm saying it's not there, correct?
It was never recorded.
Well, you don't know what has been or how and wasn't recorded, do you?
Objection.
I'll let him answer that.
Do you?
I can only speak to what was turned over and what we received. And based on the evidence that was produced, the video that was produced is what we got.
I understand. So based on that answer, you acknowledge you don't know what may or may not have been recorded without your knowledge.
No.
Right. Did you notice that there were obvious portions of the video that in which individuals just seem to appear or apparate out of nowhere?
It's not a smooth recording of the events. When the motion triggers the recording, the video appears as if a person appeared in the video.
Apparation.
But that is due to the triggering of the recording.
Well, you don't know what it's due to because you're not an IT person who actually captured the video, correct?
Objection.
Sustained, ask that differently.
Sure. You're not the IT person, the technical person who captured this video, correct?
I am not, no.
You don't maintain this video system, do you?
I do not know.
You don't know the inner workings of how the video system was originally installed or how it operates, correct?
Based on my training and experience, I know that certain systems, due to the restrictions of the storage of the system, they try to save the storage and trigger the recording only by motion or certain time parameters. So in this video footage, I could tell you that the video is triggered by motion to record.
Well, how much storage did this system have?
I do not know.
What was the level of storage at the time that this video was taken? Was it 60%? Was it 99%? What was it?
I do not know.
So you actually don't know, Sergeant, the inner workings of this system, do you?
I do not know all the inner workings of the system.
But
No.
you do know that there appears to be portions of this video missing and portions of this video in which people just seem to apparate out of nowhere.
It's not missing. It just was not recording.
Let's move to, I think it's 5:37. A few seconds. Okay, with the court's permission, can we play about less than a minute?
Yes.
Pause it. Did you see where the person that was toward the back of the vehicle went in this video?
It appeared they went behind the vehicle.
Which would be which area of the vehicle, the right or the left? In real life, not on this video.
In real life, it would be the right rear portion of the vehicle.
Toward the taillight area.
That quarter panel, correct?
Let's go ahead and play it. Pause it. Did it appear that someone just seemed to appear out of nowhere toward the rear of the vehicle just now?
Due to the triggering of the
I
motion,
asked you why. I asked you if. Did it appear if someone just appeared out of nowhere in the back of the vehicle?
that's what the footage represents. Yes.
Can we go ahead and play this? Pause it. Did you see that the person walking away from the vehicle that you earlier on Wednesday identified as Trooper Proctor appeared to have a notebook, black portfolio in his hand?
Yes, I did.
And can you see from there, I'm going to ask you this, basically knowing the answer, can you see from there the time of day on the lower left side as that person leaves the screen?
No, I cannot.
Would you disagree if I indicated to you that was 5:38 and 7 seconds in the evening?
I would have to see it for myself. I cannot agree with you based on your statement.
You want to maybe approach briefly?
Sure.
You are unmuted.
All right. So, Sergeant, we're going to ask you to go take a look at that, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And please don't speak until you're back in the witness stand. Thank you. All right, Mr. Jackson?
Thank you. Sergeant, did you have an opportunity to look at the time of day at the point that the video is paused right now?
Yes, I did.
What is that time of day?
5:38:07.
5:38 and 7 seconds, correct?
That's correct.
And remind me about how far of a drive in time is this location at Canton PD from 34 Fairview?
With no traffic, no adverse weather and road conditions, several minutes, four minutes, maybe 5 minutes, depending which route you take.
Your Honor, I have a flash drive that I'd like to have marked.
Is this a different flash drive than we had on Friday?
It is, and I can explain it sidebar if the court wishes.
All right. Are you just marking it or do you intend to show it?
I intend to show it with the court's permission.
All right. So we'll mark it for identification and then I do need to see you. Yes. Thank you.
May we approach?
Yes.
But all rise. Here we go.
All right. I'm going to take a 2-minute recess.
All rise for the court, please. We're back in session, you may be seated.
Does council need to see me or are we all set?
I think we're all set.
Right ahead, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. As a matter of housekeeping, I would ask for the admission of the last item that was marked for identification.
XX. Was it YY? Oh, it was back again.
I did the
Okay.
same thing. It's
All right.
exact.
So that will now be what, Madam Court Reporter? Thank you.
And with the court's permission, I'd ask to display that video. Yours?
Okay.
Bates, if you could move that to a runtime of 1 minute and 17 seconds, or thereabouts. And go ahead and pause that. Sergeant, do you recognize what's depicted in what's just been marked as Exhibit 542?
I do.
How do you recognize that?
It's an inversion of the video provided from Canton PD Sally Port.
It's actually, and that inversion corrects the perspective. Would you agree with that?
I would.
Okay, so now we're looking at what we've always been looking at, but it's clear it's looking at the driver's side of the vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
And it's everything in it's properly oriented, is that right?
It's an accurate depiction of what is taking place.
Meaning right is right and left is left in this video.
The vehicle came from the right into the left. The driver's side is visible and is closest to the camera.
If we could go ahead and, thank you, Sergeant. If we could go ahead and play this for just a few seconds, please. Pause it. You saw the person that was toward the back of the vehicle that you earlier on Wednesday identified as Trooper Proctor moving toward the right, I'm sorry, yes, the passenger side taillight area in this video, correct?
I observed the person walking that way.
Let's go ahead and play it. Awesome. And you see the person toward the taillight area moving out of frame just now, correct?
I did, yes.
That person had the that black portfolio in his hand.
That's correct.
I'd like to ask Mr. Bates if you wouldn't mind moving the cursor back to the beginning before the video, I'm sorry, before the SUV was actually in the Sally Port. Okay, pause that. Do you see what's depicted in the video now at runtime, at the beginning of the video?
I see the still frame. I'm observing the still frame.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Can you see from where you are, sir, can you see the chyron at the bottom of the video in blue, indicating the date stamp and time stamp? Can you see that from where you are?
I see the blue color. I don't know what exactly it is.
Are your eyes good enough to see that that is completely inverted?
They are not.
They're not inverted?
They are not good enough.
That was a good answer to a bad question on my part. With the court's permission, would it be possible for the sergeant to approach the screen and take a look at that timestamp?
Can you do that, Sergeant, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you able to, may I inquire?
Yes.
Were you able to see that timestamp?
Yes, I was.
Sergeant, did that timestamp appear to be inverted?
The blue writing appears to be backwards.
So in this version of the video, which has been inverted from the version shown by the Commonwealth, the timestamp also was inverted, correct?
What appears on the screen is inverted.
Thank you. I'd like to zoom in on, just with the court's permission, on a portion of the middle of the video.
Okay.
Sergeant, I want to direct your attention to an area of the video right above the hand truck. Do you see that area?
I do.
Do you see that white object just above the snow line?
I see something there. I do not know what it is, if it's an object or it's more snow.
Can you tell if that's a sort of dirty white rag?
I cannot tell what it is.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Rich. We can take that down. We've seen a corrected version of that Sallyport video from that camera. There's also another camera on the opposite side of the Sallyport, isn't there?
There is.
And that one, for lack of a better phrase, that one came out pretty grainy. Would you agree?
Yes, it's not perfect quality.
The other view would show, given the fact that it's on the opposite side of the wall of this video, that actually would show the right rear portion of the SUV as it was parked in that Sallyport, would it not?
Yes, it would.
Let's take a look with the court's permission. This has already been marked as 446. I believe it was introduced last week.
Okay.
Could you display that?
Yes.
Thanks. I know it's very hard to see, Sergeant, but could you tell me, as the video is paused right here at the beginning, timestamp, can you see the outline of the antique police car?
I can make that out, yes.
And it appears that there's no vehicle in the foreground this side of that antique police car, correct?
That's correct.
You also can see that this video is in fact not inverted. It's the correct orientation, right?
That's correct.
And obviously it's pretty lacking in quality, but you can make out the fact that there is an outline of a vehicle there, correct?
Correct.
We can play, may I approach the screen briefly?
Yes.
If we could, with the court's permission, begin playing at this time, this is about 5:07 and 10 seconds. That's time of day. We can play for about a little less than a minute.
Okay.
Sergeant, did you see what was depicted on the video that just ran from 5:07 and a few seconds until it was just paused?
I did watch the video.
And how much time would you estimate elapsed as we just watched that video in real time?
15 seconds, maybe?
Okay. And do you see something? You see something in the foreground that just sort of appeared there next to that antique police car?
It appears that the SUV has now pulled into the Sallyport and there's an individual standing behind the SUV.
And do you see what the time of day is on that timer?
I do not.
Can you see that it's paused at 5:50 and 46 seconds?
I cannot.
This is the last time I would ask unfortunately, I cannot zoom on this, Your Honor. With the court's permission, would the sergeant make one more trip to the screen to give us the exact time that this is paused?
This is the last time, Sergeant. Would you please?
Thank you, Your Honor.
What is the timestamp where the video is paused?
5:50:46.
5:50 and 46 p.m., correct?
That's correct.
So it appears that this video in about 15 seconds jumps 42 minutes to the 5:50 mark, correct?
I don't know how much it jumps.
Well, from 5:08 approximately to 5:50 approximately, how much time is that?
Approximately 48.
42 minutes, right?
Excuse me, 42.
That's okay. And this reads a vehicle which shows the right rear taillight portion just appears, correct? At 5:50.
There's a vehicle that appears. There appears to be an individual standing behind the vehicle. It's not just a taillight that appears.
But Sergeant, the exact time that would show what Trooper Proctor was doing at the right rear taillight, that is missing.
Objection.
Sustained.
The exact time that would show what the person who you identified on Wednesday as being Trooper Proctor, that video is not there, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
This video, Sergeant, you will agree, if that 42-minute period existed, that would have been the only video that would establish the actual condition of the taillight the moment the SUV arrived in police custody in that Sallyport, correct?
Objection.
You can ask that differently.
Is there any other video other than this one that would show the exact condition of that taillight as it pulled in to the driveway and then to the south one? Or is this the only one?
From that location,
Correct.
that is the video that captures that time frame.
And that's also the video that captures that area of the car, correct? The right rear portion of the car.
Correct.
At that 42 minutes, from when the car arrived until 5:50 in the evening, that portion is missing, correct?
It's not missing. It's just not recorded.
It's not there, Sergeant Bukenik. I'm not splitting words with you, splitting hairs. It's not there. It's gone, correct?
It's not. It's not on the screen now.
It's not anywhere, is it?
I do not know.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Well,
Thank you, Your Honor. Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So how this video was played before the jury on Wednesday during your direct testimony, the condition of that video, the view of that video, that's how you received it from the Canton Police Department, correct?
That's correct.
So nothing was done to alter it, change it in any way, shape, or form from when you received it to when it was played before the jury.
Objection.
sustained. You can't leave, Mr. Lally.
What if anything was done to alter or change that video, received it to the time that it was played before the jury?
Objection.
Ask it differently one more time.
As far as the condition when you received it and the condition when it was played for the jury, what was different?
There was no manipulation, alteration of the video between
I'll allow the answer.
when we received it from Canton Police Department, when I played it, and when it was played for you.
Now, as far as the cameras are motion activated, correct?
That's correct.
As far as the skipping that you observed at various points of the video, was that something that occurred once or more than once?
More than once, repeatedly.
And was it one specific portion of the video? And by that, I mean, was it only at the beginning or only in the middle or only at the end, or was it sort of throughout?
It's consistently happening when there's lack of motion. The video does not record because it's not triggered to record.
From the video, at least as far as you've seen, the one that you were shown on Wednesday and the one that you were shown today, or the portions that you were shown today, what, if any, difference did you note between the content of what's contained in the video?
The content of the video is accurate depiction of what's taken place. The only difference that I noticed today is that the version played was actually inverted from the original version that I received and which was produced.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would ask that the entirety of that 5 minutes and 51 seconds of video be played for the jury.
Okay?
You might have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Pause there, Ms. Gilman. And that area just played before the jury. That is when the vehicle was brought in by the tow truck driver from the flatbed from the driveway video into the Sally Port area, correct?
That's correct.
Gilman, if you can pause there for 1 second. Sergeant, I'm going to direct your attention to the person that just opened the driver's side door. That's the tow truck driver, is that correct?
That's correct.
just ask you to take a look at the door, and in particular, the snow on the door when he closes that door. Gentlemen, if you could. Your pause just one moment. Now, Sergeant, if I could direct your attention back to the ring video. I think it was video 153 from Exhibit 6. And you were shown that video on cross-examination and asked about any movement that you saw on the driver's side, rear tire, things of that nature. Do you recall that?
I do.
And do you recall that portion of the video when it's alleged that Ms. Reed's vehicle came close to or made contact with Mr. O'Keefe's vehicle in the driveway? At that point, did you observe any snow coming off of Mr. O'Keefe's car when they came close to each other?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
I don't remember exactly if there was snow coming off the vehicle. There was snow falling, and that was captured by the ring video. I don't recall if any snow came off the vehicle.
Gentlemen, if you could. Thank you. And Mr. Officer, we can have the lights back up. Now, Sergeant, that video starts at approximately 5:30 p.m. on January 29th, correct?
Correct.
Is that before or after the ring video 153 from Exhibit 6 at 5:07 in the morning at Mr. O'Keefe's house when you can see the defendant's smashed taillight?
Objection.
So the objection sustained. Ask the question.
5:30 p.m. on January 29th, is that before or after 5:07 a.m. When you observed the defendant's vehicle on the ring video at Mr. O'Keefe's house?
That is after.
And is that before or after you observed on the ring video the defendant, Ms. Roberts, and Ms. McCabe driving the defendant's vehicle and parking it in the driveway of Mr. O'Keefe's house?
It's after.
And is it before or after about, say, 8:22 in the morning, at some point when a Canton Cruiser parked in the driveway behind the defendant's vehicle?
It's after.
And is it before or after about 12:30 p.m. or so when the defendant and her father and her brother from the videos from Exhibit 6, the ring videos on 1 Meadows Ave, are parked in and around the defendant's vehicle and then leave with the defendant's vehicle to go to Dayton?
It's after.
And is it before or after the video that you testified about on Wednesday in regard to the surveillance video from the defendant's father's house in Dayton when that vehicle was being loaded onto a truck and you can see the tail light there?
John.
It's after.
Now, again, you had a conversation or an interview with the defendant on the afternoon of January 29th when you were in Dayton, correct?
That's correct.
And during the course of that interview, she made statements about her broken tail light and when that occurred, correct?
Objection.
Do you want the instruction or do you want to come see me at sidebar?
Sidebar.
You are unmuted.
Now, Sergeant, between the version of the video that's you and the jury witnessed on Wednesday and the version that you just witnessed the entirety of right now, again, what, if any, difference as far as the depiction or people or places between those two versions of the video?
Outside of it being a mirror image of itself, it accurately depicts any activity or action in the Sally Port.
And at any point in time that you were in the Sally Port area of the Canton Police Department garage, did you or Trooper Proctor ever go near, touch, manipulate the rear passenger side taillight area or the rear passenger side quarter panel of the defendant's vehicle?
We absolutely did not.
Now, if I could turn you back to some questions you were asked on cross-examination about something that was reported to the Chief Medical Examiner's office. Do you recall that?
I do recall that.
And some questions about statements that you had made to the OCME at approximately 10:41 a.m. on January 29th. Do you recall that?
I do recall that.
And you were asked some questions about reporting it as a possible domestic assault, correct?
That is correct.
And can you explain to the jury what led to that statement as far as what you knew at that time and why you would make those statements to the medical examiner?
The Massachusetts general law directs us, just as it gives the district attorney's power to and authority over all death investigations. That's the following section 4 of that chapter. Excuse me, following section from section 4, section 5 of that chapter directs all state medical and police entities to work in coordination with the medical examiner's office. By law, we're supposed to work together on the medical legal investigations that the medical examiner's office conducts. We conduct the criminal portion of the investigation. They conduct the medical portion of the investigation. Thus, I contacted the medical examiner's office and advised them that what we had learned at the time. Up to that point, we had learned that the defendant stated that she hit him. We had collected, meaning the Canton Police Department had collected a broken glass. So based on the physical evidence and the statements made by the defendant to the first responders at the scene at that point in time, I had communicated those facts to the medical examiner's office. That way they would document it, but also be prepared to investigate the case with the most up-to-date information available.
Now, at that time that you made that statement to the representative from the chief medical examiner's office, had you been to Good Samaritan Hospital and seen Mr. O'Keefe at that point?
I have not.
And had you obviously seen any of the injuries that Mr. O'Keefe had sustained prior to making that statement to the medical examiner?
I had not.
Now, as far as the information that you received, you mentioned first responders indicating that the defendant had stated, "I hit him." Who was the first responder that provided that information?
Buchanan Police Sergeant Good.
In addition to that, did you or Trooper Proctor speak with any of the Canton fire personnel?
Yes, we did.
And who did he speak with?
I believe it was firefighter Flamani.
So firefighter Flamati, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, after going to Good Samaritan Hospital and viewing Mr. O'Keefe's injuries, as far as what you had earlier reported to the medical examiner, what, if anything, changed based on those observations as far as your opinion as to what had transpired?
Based on what I learned from observing the injuries, I could tell that the glass.
Objection.
No, I'm going to allow it. You can move to strike it, but I'm going to allow it.
I could tell that the glass was most likely not the object, the weapon, which was used to cause the injury to the back of Mr. O'Keefe's head.
Thank you, sir. Can I have a moment?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions.
Any recross?
Very briefly.
Okay.
In your report to the OCME, you said it was a blast to the face, not to the back of the head, correct?
I'm not sure how they wrote it down, but I would need to be refreshed on my memory.
Okay, fair enough. And approach?
Yes.
Last sentence. Yeah?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes, it does.
What did you say to the, or what did you report to the OCME?
That there was a possibility that the decedent was struck to the face with a glass.
You also, with regard to the phrase, "I hit him," or the Sergeant Good and or Flamati telling you that she said, Ms. Reed said she hit him. When did Sergeant Good tell you that?
It would have been during our conversations at the police department.
And when did EMT Flamati tell you that?
He never told me that.
So the only thing you were going on with regard to the phrase or the statement that you claim my client indicated, where my client indicated she hit him, is coming from Sergeant Good.
That information at that time was provided by the first responders from the scene.
And Sergeant Good then relayed that to you, correct?
At some point, yes.
Is there a single report memorializing that Sergeant Good reported to you that morning before 10:41 a.m., before 10:41 a.m., that my client made the statement that she hit him?
I don't believe so.
I want to shift gears real quick to the video. A couple of quick questions about that. When did you, and I'm talking about the higher quality video, the one that was inverted. When did you receive that video? What date?
I'm not sure. It was at some point in either late April or early May.
After we had started this trial.
Objection.
Do you know?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay.
If after mid-April, correct?
I believe so. I'm strictly speculating.
Who asked you to retrieve that video?